Hey guys, it's Michelle here from Fine Natural Hair and Faith. I've been using henna in my hair for many years. I've tried many ways to make it and I've discovered some tips for use along the way. I don't consider myself a henna expert, but if I had to rate my expertise, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. That's because I know there's still a lot that can be learned on the structural side of things, but since that doesn't much interest me, I'll stick to being a 7. Hey! Now, while I do this full strength treatment, I will share all the ways I use henna today, as well as some of my tips. For starters, when mixing up my henna, I do not use acidic liquids like tea or lemon juice. I find those just too irritating for my scalp. So I decided to just use warm filtered water. I find that works just fine, and I still get the henna dye to release. The lost tone content of the henna crop you use will determine how rich the stain on your hair is, as well as the shade. Depending on the region the crop comes from, your henna could leave light colored hair, in my case, my grays, either burgundy or auburn looking. I don't honestly have a preference. If you do, suppliers like Henna Souk or Mahandi.com let you know exactly the shade of coloring you can expect to achieve with the particular, henna that you get from them. Another tip I find for using henna is that you don't necessarily need to wait for the dye to release before applying it. Most recommend that you let your henna mixture sit overnight or at least a few hours. I've discovered that putting my full strength treatment in my hair right after mixing it with warm water still allows it to release in my hair. It allows the dye to release in my hair still, right in my head. That could be because the warmth from my head promotes it, as well as the fact that I'm leaving it in my hair for about 3 hours while doing errands. As far as how often I do this full strength treatment, it's about every 3 months. When I first started out, I used it in my hair once a week for a month and then switched to monthly treatments. That was just to get my hair strong and acclimated to using henna. Quarterly is how often I will continue to do full strength treatments. However, I also create henna glosses 1 to 2 times per month. I like to add a tablespoon of henna to my deep conditioner, or if I've had leftover henna that's been frozen, I'll thaw that out and add it to my deep conditioner. It's already had its dye released. However, when adding just the henna powder to a deep conditioner, I will let that sit for a bit so that the henna has had a chance to release all of its goodness. It won't be able to release in my head like with the full strength treatment because it won't be in my hair for that long, maybe about 30 minutes. Now, when doing a henna gloss, I do not get a color stain. So if you're interested in trying henna in your hair, doing a gloss is a good way to get your feet wet. It's a more beginner-friendly way of using henna. My last tip for using henna in your hair is if you're concerned about it drying your hair out, because sometimes it's a really strong treatment, you may feel like it dries your hair out. I literally have never had that experience, but I have heard about others who have. But what you can do to remedy this is to mix in some aloe vera powder or some amla. Those 2 herbs help to balance things out. You can also add a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil or almond oil to your mixture. Those 2 oils particularly, like I wouldn't use coconut oil because that tends to be on the, drying side. If it kind of promotes strength a bit. You don't want any kind of oil that promotes like strength. You want oils that are a little bit more balanced with moisture, and olive oil and almond oil are the 2 that I would use. However, should you choose to mix anything into your henna, I would wait until you see the dye release first. So you wouldn't be able to just put it in your head, in your hair, and wait for the dye to release. Well, I guess you could. I've never tried it that way since I'm not sure if the dye would release with the addition of all the herbs and other oils that would be added. Perhaps I'll try it the next time and just to see. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you find any of these tips helpful. Plus, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next video. Be blessed, my friends.